Okay, here we go. So we're going to look today at the mole to mass and mass to mole calculations. So last time we were starting at moles, we were ending in moles. Today we're going to start in moles and end in mass, or some of your homework problems are going to start at mass and end in moles. Okay? So we need to write down our equation here, and it says that we're determining the mass of sodium chloride produced. So that means that sodium chloride is going to be on this side of my arrow. And that sodium chloride is going to get produced when I have sodium and chlorine gas reacting. So I need to balance my equation first. So I've got that balanced. And remember, this is my dividing line between my reactants on this side and my products over here. So in the beginning, I don't have any products made at all. They're telling me that I have 1.25 moles of chlorine. So I'm going to put 1.25 here. And here, they didn't tell me how much sodium I had. So what do I write down? Excess. So this is an excess amount. I've got extra here. All right. So now I've got to figure out my cloud. I'm going to take this and I'm going to divide by 1. That's going to give me a cloud value of 1.25. Then I'm going to come down out of the cloud. That means that I'm going to subtract from my reactants and I'm going to add to my products. When I come down, I'm going to multiply by my coefficients. So 1.25 times 2 is going to give me 2.50. 1.25 times 1 is going to give me 1.25. And 1.25 times 2 is going to give me 2.50. That means that I will have made 2.50. I won't have any of this left, and I'll have an excess amount of this. Huh? Question? Good? Okay. What units are these numbers in here?
Grams?
Nope. What did we say that?
Moles.
Moles, right. So these are in moles. They want to know mass, though. So I need to take these moles and turn them into mass. So if I have 2.50 moles of NaCl, how do I get that into grams? What am I going to do? This goes back to chapter 10, which you had your last test on. We're converting moles to grams. How do I do that? Okay, so I'm going to multiply by my molar mass. So I need to find out the molar mass of sodium chloride. Well, I have 1 sodium, and that is 23.0, and I have a chlorine, which is 35.5. So that's a total of 58.5. So I'm going to multiply this times that 58.5. And that's going to give me grams, because this is grams per mole. My moles will cancel, and that's going to give me grams. So when I multiply that out, it's going to give me 146 grams of NaCl. So this is just one extra step from what I taught you yesterday. All right. Questions on that guy? Where I got any of my numbers, how I figured anything out? All right. Next one then. All right, I need to balance this. I think I just need to put a 2 here, and I think it's got balance then. 1, 4, 1 carbon, and 2 oxygen. Yeah, that's balanced. Okay, so this just needed a 2 in front of it here. So when you write that out, that's what that needs to look like. All right, I am starting with 1.25 of this. How much of this do I have? How much of this stuff do I have? Did they tell me?
Excess.
So excess. How about the next one, the chlorine?
Excess.
Yep. How about the next one, the TiCl4?
0.
Why?
Because it has to be reduced yet.
Right, we haven't made it yet. And then the CO2 is 0 as well. Okay. So am I going to subtract from this, or am I going to add to this?
Subtract.
Subtract. I'm going to use this up to make this stuff. What about this guy? Is he going to get subtracted or added? Subtract. What about him?
Subtract.
What about him?
Add.
Because we're making it, and
Add.
add. So see if you can figure out what we're going to be adding here. Take your number up into the cloud. Oh, I forgot to put the answers. Take that 1.25 up into the cloud and figure out what everything is. Once you figure out your mole amount, then what do you got to do? They don't want the answer in moles. They want it in grams. Yep. So you got to convert it to grams. Where's your cloud? And then this is supposed to have a 2 in front of it. So take this up in, so you're going to divide it by 1. So what does your cloud become? Do not take 1.25 divided by 1. You can do 1.25. You can do anything divided by 1. Come on. Okay, now you've got that into moles. You know how much you had to use. Convert that into grams now. How do you convert moles into grams? Oh, I'm sorry. We're working at home. You got this. That's supposed to have a 2 in front of it. Okay, you got this. Take it up and divide it by 1 to get it into the cloud. Yep. Okay. Now you're going down out of the cloud, so you're going to multiply that by all of your coefficients. This times 1. What are you going to multiply that by? For this one. Okay. You're going to multiply this one by. Okay. There's a 2 in front of this. You got it to that point, but now you've got to turn it into mass. So you've got gram, or these are moles. You need to change that into grams. Yep. Well, this wouldn't be excess. You actually have an amount that you're going to use. You need to take the 1.25 times 1. And here you're going to multiply it by what? Okay. This isn't 2 here. There's only 1 there.
Yeah, I accidentally did this over here.
All right, so you should find that this is going to be, our cloud is going to be 1.25 because we took this up and we divided by 1. Now we bring it down, we're going to multiply. So this is going to be 1.25. Multiply this times 1. And we're going to multiply this times 2. So this is 2.50. Multiply this by 1. And multiply this by 1. So this becomes 1.25. 1.25. This remains excess. Excess. And we don't have any of this left over. They wanted to know how much Cl2 we needed. So my Cl2 is here. This is how much I needed in moles, but I've got to convert that into grams. This is moles of Cl2. So now I need to figure out, okay, if I want to use dimensional analysis, I need to figure out the grams per mole for Cl2. Well, I've got 2 Cl's. Each Cl is 35.5. So that's 71.0 grams per mole. So 71.0 times 2.5 is going to give you 178 grams of Cl2. Yeah, well, it's going to be 3 sig figs. So this is 3 sig figs. This is 3 sig figs. So I rounded. I think when you put it in your calculator, it ended up being 177 point something. 0.5. Okay. But you should have 3 significant figures in your answer. So that's why it comes out to 178. Okay. And that's all I'm going to show you for today. You just need to go and work on your homework now. And hopefully you can get it done before you have to leave today. And then you don't have any homework over the week.